3AW football, as always, for KFC. Umpire Justin Schmidt holds the ball aloft, and here's Michael Christian on 3AW footy.
So about to get underway, a perfect bounce, and one down by Leuenberger to Heppel, quick handball to Merritt, now handball to Zaharakis, a long kick inside attacking 50, Taylor going back, gets his hands on the footy under pressure, got it wide towards Mackie, following up, Parrish did well, a snap to the goal square, and a mark to Hooker. A mark to Hooker in the goal square, 5 metres from goal. What a start, Lloydie.
Oh, it was. I'll jump in, Chris. So Taylor started on Hooker, but just got drawn to the contest. Smart play from Hooker, just ducked out the back to the goal square, lost his direct opponent. Bad start to Harry Taylor.
Wow, so just a couple of seconds on the clock, and Essendon are on the board at the MCG. And a fantastic start by the Bombers. Cale Hooker, the goal kicker, and the Bombers a goal, and of course the Cats yet to score.
So Lonergan, Lloydie has gone to Danaher. Taylor has got that Hooker matchup. Do you like those matchups if you're a Cats fan?
Not really. I think they're the right matchups, but they do concern me. I think I'm happy Taylor's in defence though, but look at these midfield matchups. They're going to be freewheeling here. I think you've got no tags whatsoever, and there was a great centre clearance with Zaharakis charging off the half-back Frank getting involved as well.
So the Bombers strike first on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. Field umpire Shane McInerney, one of the most experienced whistleblowers in the caper, gets us underway again with a perfect bounce. Zach Smith had to sit underneath it. Leuenberger won the tap. Actually, it went back to Zach Smith, who hacked it inside forward 50. Only a shallow entry. Little fumble there from McGrath. Trying to keep it alive is Cockatoo. Worried out of it by McGrath. Heppel was held without the football. And, well, the free kick is taken and advantage is taken. Goddard with a handball further afield. McDonald tipping Woody. Clever little ball inboard. And James Stewart, first game in red and black, takes the mark and delivers it lace out to big Joe Danaher. And he will go back and line up. It's been a big day for the Danahers. They were part owners of the winner in the first Caulfield today. Saw Dan Anthony out there at the Heath, and Joe Danaher will go back and line up for goal at the punt road end.
I've seen Matty Lloyd do that a few times. Lead back towards the goal square, then come back at the kicker. Perfect little kick from Stewart. Nothing that Lonergan could do about that.
For a perfect start from right on 50, the left foot drop punt is out to the left and barely scrapes in for a minor score. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, 2.5 in, 1-1-7 the Bombers. The Cats, they haven't fired a shot.
So someone watched Danaher last week in Perth, and they asked me, they said one shot he had 6 steps in his run up. The next one was 12 steps. So let's watch what he does tonight.
Now, Matty Tui has kicked it 70 metres from the goal square, but he stepped on the line. So the ball's got to come back to the Essendon goal square for a ball up.
Must be a set play, Chris. So first kick into the game, Torp down the middle. Unfortunately, he did the hard part, but stuffed up the easy part.
So a ball up, top of the goal square, one down by Smith, taken by Fantasia. Little grubbing kick to goal, and it's taken through by Stewart. No, in fact, Guthrie and Smith, and the crowd calling for deliberate. The umpire said no, it's a behind. So another behind to the Bombers, as this time Tui kicks short into the back pocket. Mark taken by Mackie. He kicks along the line towards blitz halves, through his fingers and over for a boundary thrown between wing and half forward for the Bombers. So the Bombers have started well. They're 1-2-8 Essendon. We've played 3 minutes, and the Cats haven't ventured into their forward half.
A very sluggish start from the Cats. Leuenberger and Zach Smith lock arms. No clear winner of the tap. They scrap on after it at ground level. Eventually the whistle, and we'll have a throw up 70 out for the Essendon goal.
In the Cats front half, Hartley's got the big job on Tom Hawkins, and I love this one. Andrew McGrath is on Cockatoo.
Leuenberger wins it down brilliantly to the skipper. Heppel was dispossessed immediately though. Guthrie coughed it straight back up to Heppel though. Through a couple of pairs of hands. Collier, little kick towards full forward. Which way will it roll? Fantasia chases it close to the boundary line. He's got Parsons, was it? Or in fact it was Jed Buse right on his hammer. And it's over the boundary line for a throw in left forward pocket, or between forward pocket and half forward. Punt road end, 25 around from the Essendon goal.
And we haven't mentioned James Kelly either. Congratulations, 300 games, and what a night to do it on.
Star.
Smith wins it down, dangerous spot. Soccer from Fantasia is goal, but a soccer in the goal square from Danaher is a goal. So Fantasia sockered it from 25 metres. Danaher at the top of the goal square just deflected it off his boot through the goals for Essendon's second. That's got to be a goal of the night contender for Pancake Parlour.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Even he surprised himself, Danaher. As you said, it was from the forward stoppage. They just hacked it forward. Danaher stuck out the boot from the goal square, went through, and he even surprised himself. Couldn't believe it.
Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, Essendon 2-2-14. Geelong yet to score. We've played 5 minutes on the Ray White clock in this opening term. Spoilt Mum tomorrow with the Luminous by Gina Liano, just $39.
5 minutes in, and the Cats have had 5 disposals for the match. So all the Bombers, and so efficient as well. 17 disposals for their 2 goals too.
Back in the centre. Bombers making the early running. Zach Smith wins the tap. Cockatoo emerges with it. The fend off to Zach Merritt. Gets his kick. It's inside forward 50, but only just. And getting back, taking a fine mark, is Matty D, the ex-Tiger. Squares it up to Goddard, who's in a bit of space, but he's in no hurry to move it on. Takes the dangerous option down the middle and turns it over. Selwood takes the chest mark under pressure from Leuenberger. Nice kick to Menegola. He marks it at 52, chips it inboard, and Reece Stanley takes the uncontested mark directly in front, only 25 out.
Well, Lordy, that's what you spoke about today, their ability to turn the footy over in the middle of the ground, which Selwood did from the poor kick on the way out from Goddard. Once they turn the footy over, they're so efficient going inside 50, but just not seeing enough of it from the front of centre, like you mentioned.
Yet to kick a goal this season, Reece Stanley. The Cats already trail by 14 points, they're only 6 minutes in. And that's a poor miss. Directly in front from 25 to 30, tugs it left, minor score. Cats finally on the scoreboard with that behind. Essendon 2-2-14, we've played 6.5.
So Hurley, a little kick to himself from fullback, then long down the line. Massive leap there by Kolajasny, couldn't take the mark. Lonigan's got it. Quick handball to Kolajasny, quick kick forward to the attacking 50. Off hands, Goddard couldn't take it. Well done McGrath, handball off to D to Kelly, and the kick from Kelly has been marked by Lonigan, just the attacking side of right centre wing for the Cats. So Geelong looking to set up, keep the ball in their forward half. Now a short kick is okay. The mark's taken by Mackie, point of the square, right half forward. He wheels, right foot kick is wide. Blitzarv's in a good spot and he takes the mark. 40 from goal on a slight angle, so they worked it pretty well, the Cats keeping it in their forward half.
Yeah, a couple of big moments for players who are down on form. Stanley, it's good to see him touch the ball, but it was a bad miss. Blitzarv's horribly out of form at the moment, just 9 disposals last week. The other one, Zach Smith, isn't in great touch either, so they're 3 big men who need to lift for Geelong.
So Blitzarv's will kick from 45, drop punt is across the face again, so 2 gettable goals missed by the Cats. They're 2 behinds. Essendon are 2-2. We've played 7 minutes opening term on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Goddard takes the kick in quickly, and Danaher flew very high, close to the boundary line. It seemed like a little. Well, he thought he was going to get a free kick, I think, for tunnelling. And the ball's out of bounds. He was flying high over the top of the debutant in Mark O'Connor, and the umpire just said throw it in. It's thrown in quickly. Zach Smith takes front position. Wins it down to Selwood. Handball to his mate in Dangerfield, who does he kick it? He kicks it out of bounds on the full. This is a very unlike Geelong start, and the free kick will be taken by Hartley in the left back pocket.
Just going at 53% disposal efficiency, the Cats.
Hartley across goal. He picks out Zaharakis,
who kicks to half back, or dangerous one. Kelly tried it, couldn't hold on, but found it at ground level. Did well, got the handball to Watson. Handball wide, and Zaharakis, who followed up his kick. He kicks to the wing. Well done. Mark taken by Fantasia. In front of the Great Southern Stand. The Bombers to the punt road end in this opening term. He plays on, kicks it long inside the attacking 50. Ball to the back of the pack. Mackie, he gave the handball to Taylor, who it bounced off his chest and then ricocheted over for a boundary throw in 30 metres around from the Essendon goal right forward pocket.
Look dangerous, don't they? The Essendon forwards, Danaher, Hooker, they all look like they're going to get one-on-one matchups tonight and look like they have the better of their Geelong opponents.
So Leuenberger and Zach Smith. Leuenberger to the back. Here's a chance for Fantasia. Gee, he held a long time in the tackle. No free kick. He gets another opportunity. Can't pick the footy up. Coming through Watson. Files the handball through, but only as far as Tui, who jams it on the boot back towards the centre. But Kelly sits underneath it. Takes the mark. Kicks short. Just the 15, and Myers has taken the mark, point of the square, right half forward.
Crowd's telling him have a shot. He's one of the biggest kicks. We don't see him play too often, but let's see if he lobs it to the top of the square.
Man on the mark, it's at 60, drives it long, it will land pretty much the top of the square, and the Geelong defence do well. They fist it over, and a boundary throw in deep right forward pocket. So the Bombers 2-2, the Cats 2 behinds. We've played 9 minutes opening term on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard.
Some big Cats yet to touch the footy. Beaver, Menzel, Hawkins, Duncan, Motlop all haven't had a touch.
All for the Southern Star group. They're pretty ordinary numbers at the moment for the Blue and Whites. Parrish feeds out a handball to Zaharakis. Out to Myers. They're conceding ground here. Handballing almost back to the wing. Matty D, in fact, kicks it back to centre wing on the bounce to James Kelly. Confronted by Parsons, so he needs to get rid of it quickly, and delivers lace out to Goddard, who marks close to the boundary line. Southern inside, just forward to centre wing. Pretty crowded forward line. So he's also going to go lateral. Back to James Kelly, who's got it and easily gets around Parsons, or the debutant. Kicks inside forward 50. What a beautiful pass. And McDonald Tippenwoody gleefully hugs the football to his chest. On a long searching lead, he's marked directly in front, 35-40 out.
Oh, that was brilliant from Kelly. Could easily have used Bagley, who was out on his own on a lateral switch, but he's taken on Parsons and just opened up the field of play to Tipper on a lead. They're too quick at the moment, the Bombers.
So this for an 18-point lead. McDonald Tippenwoody to the punt road end. Stabs at the drop punt. Goal umpire doesn't move. And the Bombers have the opening 3. Geelong 2 behind. Essendon 3-2-20. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard as the Ray White clock stops with 12:43 remaining in the opening term. Here's Kane Corns on Saturday night 3AW footy.
Well, they've just been methodical, Essendon, the way they've been able to use the footy. 43 disposals to Geelong's 20, uncontested marks, 12-4. They've just been patient with their ball use, going at 84% disposal efficiency as opposed to Geelong's 45. So they look calm, they look composed, and their entries inside 50 have been dangerous, Lloydie.
Well, they've had 6 of them, Cornsey, and they've scored 3 goals too. So every time they go in there, they look like scoring, and you feel like if it's not Selwood or Dangerfield right now, this could be a real blowout early in this first quarter.
Bombers by 18 points. Bounce favours Danaher. Palms to Watson. Handball to Heppel. Further handball off towards McKenna, who did well. Handball to Kelly, who's been in everything. Now to Merritt with a handball. He kicks from the wing. Beautiful kick it was too. Lace out to Fantasia, who wheels. Kicks it deep to the pocket. Cats have got the numbers. Good mark taken going back by Tui. He backed back into Stewart and did it well in the right back pocket. Zach Tui.
Wonder if it's time just to get some different Cats in the midfield. Try Motlop, try Hall and Smith. Duncan, got to get involved.
He kicks it straight to Myers, who handballs inside to Kelly. Another disposal. Kicks to about a spot 20 metres from the Essendon goal. Had it fisted away. Chance for Smith. Did well. Handball to Guthrie. Handball to Buse. Now further handball, and O'Connor has it. O'Connor does well. Handball's off to Cockatoo. They've worked it to the wing, the Cats, all via handball. Handball to Hawkins. Oh, he handballs to O'Connor, but he coolly does it. Gets it back to Kolodjasny, who kicks short. And Duncan, for a rare possession, has got it on centre wing for the Cats. Oh, I'm not sure where he was going there. The lateral kick straight to Parrish. Parrish a handball to Kelly. Gee, Kelly has been dominating.
7 touches, Chriso.
Handball to Danaher, to Parrish, to Merritt. He's in the centre. Beautiful kick to Hooker. Front of the square, centre half forward. Handball back to Merritt. Can he spot up another target? The kick is wide to Green. Oh, well played. That was great stuff from Duncan. He got a hand in there, but Green did well to recover. Back to Parrish. Now Zaharakis. Back to Merritt. A scrambling kick this time into the forward pocket. And well played by Buse. Did well, kept his feet. Gets the handball to Guthrie. Guthrie relieves the pressure. And Stanley has taken the mark right half back for the Cats.
Too quick for him at the moment, Lloydie.
Oh, no doubt about that. And look at the metres gained. They're already up to 700, the Bombers. The Cats are in the 400. So a lot of this stationary kicking, going back behind the mark. That's where Motlop is so important, yet he hasn't touched the ball, as Cornsey said.
So Stanley gets it back, and in fact they move it on through Kolodjasny down towards centre wing. Danaher playing in front, takes the diving mark in front of Parsons, and the Bombers will reload again off defensive side of centre wing. Gets very close to the man on the mark, kicks to a 2-on-1 favouring the Cats, and Jed Buse in best position easily outmarks Cale Hooker. It was a nothing sort of kick then from Joe Danaher, as the Cats really on the back foot in the early exchanges. Nothing on short. Buse bangs it long down the line. Big pack of players there. Danaher got hands on it. Hawkins had to play the defender's role. Thumped it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Tiff Cherry down on the boundary.
We talk about the Bombers obviously are nearly running half as much as doubly as much as the Cats. Well, they're coming off absolutely exhausted on the bench.
18 points their lead, so it's reward for effort at the moment from the restart. Menegola tries to crash his way through. Gang tackled by Goddard, and also McDonald, Tip and Woody will have a stoppage. A throw up 65 out from the Geelong goal.
Paddy Dangerfield, one touch, but he's been on the bench for about 5 minutes, so they've got to get him back on.
Trying to get back on now. From the ball up, McDonald, Tip and Woody did well. He got the handball to Watson, but the pressure was too great, and Watson took it over under duress. So a boundary thrown between wing and half forward for the Cats. Northern side of the ground. The Cats kicking to the city end in this opening term. They trail by 18. One down by Danaher. Sharp by Hall and Smith. Kick towards half forward, or Hawkins hopelessly out of position. Numbers with the Bombers. Hurley was well tackled. Now the cavalry arrive. Motlop an opportunity. Gets it back to Menegola. Handball to Guthrie. Great tackle, Merritt. Turnover. And well done, McKenna. Handball off to Zaharakis, who kicks long towards the wing. Green's got to jump from the back. Couldn't take the mark. Well read by Taylor. Comes out. Get the handball to Buse. He's got to double back. The old 1-2 back to Taylor. Now a handball to Blitzarms. Right on the boundary line, centre wing. Left foot long towards half forward. Coming in from the side. Almost the mark to Menzel. Wasn't taken. And now the Bomber defence under extreme pressure. Cockatoo had an opportunity. He was well tackled. Spills back to Collier. Hard up against the boundary line at halfback. Feeds a handball to D, who feeds it to Merritt, who comes dangerously across the goal face towards Danaher. He gets a free kick with an arm chop. A bit lucky. He's got it at full back.
So Danaher handballs to Goddard, who's stationary. He picks out, well, James Kelly, he's got his own footy out there at the moment.
Number 9.
Number 9, celebrating his 300th game. Give a bloke a rap though, Cornsey, and not quite a turnover, but the debutant, Mark O'Connor, chips in and punches the ball out of bounds for a throw-in. 65 around for the Geelong goal.
And also just watching Zach Merritt, he's the best kick on Essendon's list, and no one going anywhere near him. His last 5 minutes been huge, had 6 disposals and 3 tackles, 120 metres gained. He's a young star.
It's just been better the last 5 minutes from Geelong. Slowed the Bombers up, and they're looking a lot more dangerous here.
And Dangerfield's back on the ground as well, as Zach Smith wins a free kick. Gee, that kick went about 11 metres. It was paid the mark to Guthrie. He pops the little one over the top, and Duncan has taken the mark. This will take his best effort. Man on the mark stands at about 45. Tight angle, non-preferred side for the right footer, and he'll start his approach to goal from 3 or 4 metres in from the chalk.
He's one Cat who's actually performed really well this year, averaging over 29 disposals a match, Mitch Duncan.
Coming off 33 touches and a goal against the Suns last week. Set sail for home, and that is out of bounds on the full. It has been a super sluggish start by the Cats. It is third, playing 12th, you must remember, as the free kick will go to Michael Hurley in the left back pocket. 3-2-20 the Bombers, 2 behinds the Cats. Chemist Warehouse scoreboard, we've played 18.
So Hurley in the back pocket. Now, thought about kicking across the goal face. Now comes long down the line towards Watson. Got hands to it, couldn't take it. Goddard did well. Handball to Zaharakis. Feeds it back to Merritt, who's got a lot of it as well. Kick towards the wing. Numbers with the Cats, and they work it out pretty well. Well played by Stanley. Handball to Selwood. Now a handball to Buse. Hard up against the boundary. They got the handball to Stewart. Back to Stanley, but under pressure. A high kick towards half forward. Coming through Dangerfield. Couldn't take it, but he found it at ground level. Got boot to ball. Ball bouncing inside the attacking 50. Here's the chance for Parsons. Left foot snap is... He's pulled it back too far from 20 metres. It's a behind. So 3 behinds now to the Cats. Essendon 3-2-20. So the margin 17 on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. We've played 18 and a half minutes.
Hurley kicks in again. Very short into the back pocket. And a chip pass to Hartley. And it's a dangerous kick, but it's effective. He skids one out very wide to Collier. Handballs inboard to the stationary Watson, the former captain. Kicks to his successor. Heppel marks on the Yarra Valley Toyota logo. True centre wing position. Wants to come right across ground and hangs in the air for a while. Kelly's got it again, up to number 10, I think, Cornsey. Quick handball to Zach Merritt, who's had it almost as many times. Bangs it into the left forward pocket. 3-on-2 favour the Cats. And Stewart plays the percentages. Thumps it out of bounds for a throw-in, 25 around from the Essendon goal. 3-2-20 the Bombers, 3 behinds the Cats, and we're about to tick into time on to the opening term.
So a boundary throw in. Leuenberger in front of Stanley. Stanley reaches over, wins it down, and they do it well. Duncan, a wild on handball though, to no one in particular. Bagley comes up to meet it, but he couldn't control it before it went over the boundary line. So left half forward, a boundary throw in for the Bombers. Kicking to the City end in this opening term. They've started well, 3-2-20. Geelong just 3 behinds.
Chris, I played 20 minutes. Geelong have laid 4 tackles. That is a very low number and just shows they have not turned up to play.
Stanley wins it again to Guthrie and tried to get it clear, but was well tackled. Almost a throw out by Guthrie. And Dangerfield was well met by Bagley with a bump. Couldn't control it. Now a chance for Hurley. Did well, got the handball through to Merritt, handball to McGrath, handball to Heppel, now a handball to Myers. They worked it pretty well, the Bombers, in a tight situation. Myers now kicks it towards McDonald, tipping Woody, but coming up, sensing some danger was Stewart. Left his man, came over the top and fisted it over. And Hooker not happy with one individual down there, and I reckon it's Mackie. We know Mackie,
he chirps a bit.
Very good chirper, and something happened there. Anyway, boundary throw in. Well done, Leuenberger. At the 4, Watson. Couldn't control it. Now Dangerfield. Under pressure. Got the handball out. Only as far as Green. Kick towards the top of the goal square. Hooker. Beautifully done. Handball to Fantasia, who kicks a goal for the Bombers. They worked it well. And Fantasia with his first of the evening. Essendon's 4th on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. The Bombers 4-2-26. Geelong 3 behinds, and we've played 21 minutes opening term on the Ray White clock.
There's a second goal they've got from a forward stoppage, and when I was playing, at least, coaches hated goals from forward stoppage. You've got all your numbers back there, you're trying to defend the ground. Well, Essendon got their second from basically the exact spot. Dangerfield won the ball but just coughed it up. Essendon able to force it forward and kick the easy goal. Almost a textbook copy of the one Danaher got from the goal square, Lordy, but concerning signs for Geelong so far. They're just not physically ready for this contest.
And Fantasia rejoins Joe Danaher at the top of the Essendon goal kicking for the season. 17 majors apiece from the restart. Heppel tries to soccer it forward. The Cats need to find a gear, and they need to find it quickly. Blitzars fights on after the footy. And eventually, umpire Lee Fisher has seen enough. He'll throw it up close to the edge of the centre square on the southern stand side. 26 plays 3. We'll get down to Tiff Cherry again in a tick. Stanley wins the tap. It's a hack forward though. Might have been Myers for the Bombers inside forward 50. Geelong defence again under pressure as the ball comes squirting out towards the boundary line. Now, this will be an interesting call. Umpire, they do call deliberate. So, an Essendon free kick 55 from home. And it's Myers that takes it. Low searching ball to full forward, and Duncan at the back takes the saving mark. Kicks it back from whence it came and finds the skipper in Selwood.
Selwood plays on, kicks wide to the wing. It wasn't a great kick intended for Hawkins. In fact, stayed in. In fact, the Blitzars was the target, but dribbled out of the reach of Blitzars, so a boundary throw in. Let's get down to Tiff.
Well, I'd say there's at least 60,000 the fans, mostly Bombers. They're just watching their former skipper Joe Watson being managed by the club. He's started on the bench, came on at the 6-minute mark, and has already come off for his first rest. Just 15 minutes he's played.
Okay, thanks Tiff. So from the boundary throw in, Stanley wins it down. Menengola, handball to Duncan, confronted by Heppel, gets around him though with a bounce if you don't mind. Now the kick. All important kick inside the forward 50, but coming up McGrath did well. Kept his eyes on the footy and kept it in front of him, and then later tackle was a good tackle on Hall Smith as he approached him, and crowd calling for a high tackle on Hall Smith, but not to be, so umpire will throw it up at centre half forward for the Cats. Wide of the pack, here's Duncan getting involved. Got the handball to Mackie with the outside of the boot. He kicks it towards full forward. Menzel there, had it fisted away. Cockatoo, the crumb, couldn't take it. Here's Motlop, left foot snap, and it's a goal. No, yeah it is. It's a goal, so the Cats finally on the board. It's taken 23 minutes, but Motlop has kicked Geelong's first goal. 1-3-9 the Cats on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. The Bombers are 4-2-26.
It was his first kick, Chriso, in 24 minutes of football, and you just feel like if they're to win this game, Geelong, it's a guy like Steve Motlop who has to have a big game. And you're right, BB, in your last minute or two you said they're under siege, I think, or under the pump, the Geelong defence, and the inside 50s, they're actually 12 apiece, but you just feel like Essendon have been in control whenever the ball's gone inside their defensive 50, but Geelong, I think they've done a great job. Their back six. It's just the midfield that has really let them down, and the Bombers in Kelly and Merritt and Zaharakis, Goddard have just been dominant through that midfield.
Round the grounds, 10 minutes into the opening quarter in Adelaide. Nathan Jones with the first goal of the game. Melbourne 1-1-7, the Crows one behind. From the restart, Dangerfield couldn't get a handle on it. Selwood chases after it. It's out on centre wing. Eventually Blitzars fires a handball to Stewart. Kicks on his non-preferred left. Clean bowls Hartley and Hawkins. And Menzel can't keep it in the field of play. It trickles over just about where he did his knee on one of those occasions. In fact, Daniel Menzel in that qualifying final will have a throw in just short of left half forward. 26 plays, 9 winners earlier today. The Giants in a thriller over Collingwood by 3 points. The Saints and the Hawks in their respective games as well. Dangerfield with a long kick towards the left forward pocket from the restart, but it's all Essendon. Matty D was superb, spun out of trouble, handball to Watson, another little handball there to Connor McKenna, who was just a little fierce or had a little too much on it. Back over the boundary line and another throw in. 3 3/4 minutes remaining until the first break. The Bombers 4-2, the Cats 1-3.
Hawkins and Menzel, the Cats' leading goal scorers coming to the game. No marks and just the one kick between them.
So from the boundary throw, and Leuenberger ends up with a footy, got it to Parrish. Oh, not a great handball, went straight to Selwood. He was well tackled though by Watson and Heppel. And what's the umpire going to do? He's going to ball it up 55 metres from the Geelong goal.
Yeah, Hawkins getting caught in a wrestle far too often on Hartley. He's got to get moving a lot more like he did earlier in the season.
Bombers by 17 points as we count down to quarter time, and from the ball up, Guthrie's got it, but he ain't going anywhere. He's well tackled, so another ball up. 3.5 minutes left in the quarter. So Smith wins it down to Selwood, gets a handball in the tackle to Guthrie. He gets a handball to Stewart of Geelong. Ball spills free, picked up by Selwood, kicks it around the body towards the top of the goal square, going back. Danaher did well, fisted away. Hartley, not a great handball. Cockatoo got a hand in there. Here's an opportunity. Menzel with a right foot snap. He's very clever. He pulls it back. Too far. So behind, another one to the Cats. They're certainly doing all the attacking the last 4 or 5 minutes. The Cats 1-5, Essendon 4-2. Essendon by 16.
It's been on the back of a huge lift from Selwood and Dangerfield starting to get their hands on the footy in the midfield.
Hurley short to Kelly, kick long down the line, no mark taken. Selwood's got it again, handballs to Taylor, handballs then to Guthrie, whose flying shot at goal misses to the left, and another minor score. So 1-5-11 now the Cats, 4-2-26 the Bombers, 6 scoring shots apiece, but it's Essendon by 15 as this time Hurley kicks to himself and trots away.
And beautiful delivery out wide to Watson, who plays on immediately with a kick in the corridor to Parrish. He runs to the back of the centre square, kicks it in front of McDonald, Tippenwoody, who took a good mark, running with the flight, plays on, he's 50 from goal, chips it forward to the plate. Here's James Stewart of Essendon, and he kicks a goal. James Stewart for the Bombers, his first goal for Essendon. And the Bombers have a 5th on the Chemist Warehouse scoreboard. The Bombers 5-2-32. Geelong 1-5-11. We've played 27 minutes in this opening term on the Ray White clock. And great play from Stewart, the former Giant. And the Bombers, well, they've got the answers at the moment.
They have, Chris. And that play pretty much summed up the first quarter, where they've been too quick and also too good by foot. And we look at the efficiency. Essendon going at 80% efficiency. The Cats just 63%. I love that kick from Watson. He turned inboard, saw Darcy Parrish. They got out, and Tipper was just too quick with space in front of him. 2.25
minutes until the opening break. The Cats get the clearance. Dangerfield to Selwood, and then a handball was it to Kolajasny. Or Mackie, in fact, kicked it along towards full forward. No mark taken. Motlop got it, and the quick snap. It was a throw. I thought it looked too sharp indeed. Was it Parsons who got pinged? Umpire Schmidt was right on the spot, and the free kick will go to the Bombers, and it'll go to Connor McKenna, who kicks sideways to McGrath. The number 1 draft pick pops a little one down the line to Zaharakis. How many has Zaharakis had in the first quarter for the Southern Star
this
group?
Is 9.
Winning plenty of the football. He comes all the way back to fullback to Hurley, who takes the mark and immediately pops it over to Kelly, who's now
number
up to
12.
Number 12. And number 12 is a lovely pass to the hard long lead of Hooker. Hits him on the chest and he marks it at left half back. 90 seconds until the first change. The Bombers by 21 points. Can they get a late one to really turn the screws? Hooker down the line and Taylor takes a fine contested grab, too strong for James Stewart.
Handball off to Selwood, handball to Motlop. They're working into the corridor. Handball to Lonigan, who just hoists it high towards half forward. They need a mark, but in front, well played by Hooker, who just gone behind the ball just as we count down to quarter time, and he took a strong mark there. Of course, played a lot of his football at centre half back and full back. He kicks wide towards the wing. Zach Smith now. There's a shepherding free kick paid, and it's going to go against Danaher to be taken by Smith.
Got 48 seconds here, the Cats. So, yeah, he's going to go long. No, not down the line.
He's going to go short to Stewart of Geelong. So he's got it just the attacking side of right centre wing. Nothing much on down the ground, so he goes back and across to Lonigan. So Cats no real urgency here to try and score before quarter time. Lonigan's kick is wide towards half forward over the head of Stanley and over for a boundary throw in. Right half forward for the Cats. We've got 24 seconds left in the quarter and they need one late. They trail by 21 points.
Amazing they've had 4 more inside 50s than Essendon, but everything going inside 50s just been long bombs, nothing threatening like Essendon have at the other end.
Somewhat strange atmosphere here tonight. At times you can hear the players out in the middle as the Bombers break from half back. McGrath received the handball from Zaharagas. Took a bounce, great kick. And Stewart takes the mark, and he'll probably have the last kick of the quarter.
Yeah, it was composed. He could have played on, but as you see, 5 seconds to go when he took that mark. Good leadership around him, go back. But that's been the story of the day. Essendon have just chopped Geelong up through the middle of the ground, and as Lloydie picked out very early on in this game, their speed, they look to be covering the ground, and just so much more damaging and dangerous with their ball use.
So Harry Taylor stands the mark at 45. You heard the siren blare in the background. So for the final kick of the quarter, James Stewart, who's already kicked one in this his first game in red and black, a very talented young key forward, to the punt road end from right on 50. He's certainly got the distance and he's got the accuracy. He kicks his second. He gets mobbed by his teammates, and the Bombers enjoy a 27-point lead at quarter time. 6-2-38 to 1-5-11, and James Stewart's the only multiple goal kicker on the ground with a couple. We'll take a break. Expert quarter time analysis from Kane Corns and Matthew Lloyd on the other side of this. Earlier today, the Giants by 3 points over Collingwood, the Saints by 19 over the Blues, and the Hawks by 38 over the Lions. Here, Essendon 6-2-38, Geelong 1-5-11, and 3AW is football. Big first quarter for James Stewart, big first quarter for the Bombers, their best opening term against Geelong in 13 years. 6-2-38 Essendon, 1-5-11 Geelong. Some more key numbers for the Southern Star Group at windowsanddoors.build. Kane Corns and Matthew Lloyd.
Well, the first thing that stands out is a lack of pressure from Geelong. 22 tackles to 6 in that quarter. Now, 6 tackles in a quarter of footy is an indictment on the players at Geelong, and when you throw in the uncontested mark numbers, 30 to Essendon, 12 to Geelong, it just shows that there's a lack of pressure and a lack of want to get the ball back off the Essendon players. So credit to Essendon. The strategy and the game plan was to take Geelong on through the midfield, no direct tags, and they've gone head to head. Got the better of Dangerfield and Selwood and the like in there, but the lack of pressure from Geelong has stood out to me so far, and Essendon have certainly capitalised on that.
Very quickly before the bounce, Tiff Cherry on the boundary.
No injuries for either side, but the Bombers do look to be managing Joe Watson, who's already had a couple of rests, but he is starting this quarter.
Thanks, Tiff.